non-profit organisation founded in 2009. Our vision is for a games industry, culture and community free of gender discrimination, where full equality of opportunity, treatment and conditions empowers all women to achieve their full potential. All women, of any age, of any race, of any background, any ethnicity, any sexual orientation. Many of you know, I believe, we will not have a truly diverse and inclusive industry until we fully address gender inequality. It's been quite a year for the games industry. There have been ups and downs, a roller coaster ride. The industry has been put in the spotlight, and some of the scenes that have been lit up have ignited. There's been a government DCMS inquiry on immersion, data collection, loot boxes, and addiction in the games industry. The inquiry also considered gender inequality and diversity in the sector. It's been the second year of gender pay gap reporting, where with a few minor improvements, the sector still needs to do better. And in the last few weeks, sadly, we have experienced a games #MeToo moment. After Gamergate in 2014 and a lack of resolution from that intensive moment, I sensed another wave would come. In 2016, I wrote an industry research paper on gender inequality in the games industry. 5 clear recommendations emerged: equality, fairness and work-life balance, education, dignity at work, bullying and harassment, age, seniority and the absence of women in the boardroom, and most women don't make games. Some of these areas may have improved, but bullying and harassment in our sector clearly hasn't. This isn't exclusive to the games industry, but a societal problem and needs to be tackled on a wider scale, in partnership with other sectors, organisations, and through policy and law. On July the 11th of this year, the government issued a consultation aimed at gathering evidence about whether the current laws on protecting people from sexual harassment in the workplace are effective. There are 2 parts to this consultation. Part 1 that anyone can respond to, and Part 2, a more technical document inviting views on the law. As an affirmative approach to making change happen, I would encourage all of you to contribute and take part in this consultation. It's open until the 2nd of October 2019. And further, in light of the recent negative events, we are tackling this head-on through a dedicated session, tackling toxicity, shaping solutions to reduce abuse and discrimination in games. The outputs from this discussion session will inform a larger piece of research work on this subject that Women in Games, in collaboration with other organisations, will be working on to develop solutions. But it's not all doom and gloom, because as a sector, we make wonderful interactive experiences that bring joy and pleasure to millions. We know we aren't perfect. We know there are challenges, but as an industry, we are super resilient and adaptable. So when the bad hits the fan, we will fight our corner. We will address the issues at hand and move positively into the future. And the theme of this year's conference is exactly that: the future for women. For this year's conference, we've taken a new approach. We've brought in an external curator, Kim Arazi. We've mixed things up, celebrating both very experienced women in the industry as well as more junior women, inviting both onto the stage. It's so important that all voices at all levels are represented in an evolving and transforming industry. We've brought in some different perspectives. Women who aren't specifically working in game studios, but whose work impacts what we do and whose knowledge we can learn from. The two-day event has been structured to flow as a story. Day one focuses on the big picture, universal themes, such as culture and gender representation in games, how games influence culture, how games are helping the world, and how new technologies will transform the way we play and interact with each other. Day two, on the other hand, considers the practical. We'll be considering first steps, how to get into the industry, what skills and talents are most sought after and needed. How do we manage our work-life balance and mental health once engaged in the workplace? And how do you go about starting your own company? What support and funds are available? Please take advantage of all the carefully curated sessions. As well as our main stage, we've arranged some amazing workshops and discussion groups in breakout rooms. London College of Communication students are showing demos of their work in the Creative Tech Lab each lunchtime, so do go and find out more about their work. Now I'm going to take a big sip of water because I have a huge amount of people to thank. Firstly, I'd like to thank the founder of Women in Games, David Smith, and our executive board, Gemma Johnson-Brown, Ruth Faulkner, and Jocasta Kelsey. You are an amazing team. You have worked so hard on this conference, and none of this could have happened without your dedicated support. A special shout out to Rosie Ball on our advisory board, who has worked tirelessly alongside her day job at Chucklefish on our new conference website. Thanks to Kim Arazi, our conference program director, who has curated such a fabulous and exciting program. And now, a special and heartfelt thanks to all our amazing sponsors. First up, 2K and Hangar 13, our platinum sponsors, for a second year. We have worked closely together over the last year and achieved so much. And Adrienne Monaghan, head of production at Hangar 13, will be moderating a panel, It Takes a Village, which explores the numerous roles required to make successful games. 2K and Hangar 13 are also Women in Games Hall of Fame award sponsors. Thank you, Rockstar, our gold sponsors. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome Rockstar for the first time as sponsors of this conference and look forward to hearing from their female dev team in the Women in Tech discussion group and to working closely together, building a fruitful relationship over the next year. We also welcome, I should have put this slide up. Get back to where I was. We also welcome, for the first time, 2 silver sponsors. A big thank you to both Creative Assembly and Sumo Group. Your support is invaluable. I will be in conversation with Harinder Sangha, Operations Director at Sumo Digital tomorrow, and Emma Smith, Head of Talent from Creative Assembly, will be speaking on the panel following that interview, entitled Where There's a Will, There's a Way. Different approaches to making a career out of play. Women in Games is looking forward to working in a bespoke way with both studios over the next year. Creative Assembly are Advocacy Award sponsors, and Sumo Group are our Ambassador Award sponsors. All our top-tier sponsors join Dovetail Games and Outplay in becoming Women in Games corporate ambassadors. Ubisoft Reflections and Ubisoft Leamington are supporting and sponsoring our HR Summit and have become corporate ambassadors. We look forward to working with you and thank you for your engagement with Women in Games. We do not see sponsorship as a one-off affair. We see it as a strategic partnership, a longer-term relationship. Building a community of committed studios is part of Women in Games' strategic plan to implement positive activism across the sector. We are stronger and more effective when we work together. Thanks also, I told you this was a very, very long list. Thanks also to Team 17 for stepping in at the last minute to sponsor our awards and party. We are absolutely thrilled to have your support for this celebratory aspect of our conference. Thanks to Fusebox for sponsoring the Student Awards. This award is all about recognising and supporting new talent into the sector. The overwhelming support from the industry this year indicates a cultural shift. The conference is sold out, and there is forward momentum to progress our industry for the better. And finally, many thanks must go to London College of Communication, University of the Arts London, for your interest in Women in Games and for all your support in hosting this year's conference. Thanks to Jenny Evans, who is our conference photographer. Thanks to all our speakers for providing their knowledge and expertise. Some have travelled a long way to be here today. And thanks to all of you for being here and engaging with Women in Games. So finally, I'd like to introduce you to the wonderful pirate nerds, Lily and Violet, who are this year's conference hosts. Thank you.